Hello, so today I'm going to show you guys how to transplant a tropical hibiscus. This is my plant. It's been in this pot for a couple of years now and it's kind of outgrowing it. You can see here that its roots are, already coming up. Whenever I water the plant, it just pours right out. So it's probably root bound, pot bound. So I'm going to transplant it into this pot, which is quite a good size bigger. I've already drilled holes in it, as you can see. It's pretty easy. Just buy a plastic pot and drill it. I'm going to put some nitrogen potting mix, and then normally for my indoor plants I don't put black cow in the mix, because it does have a smell, but this plant does use a lot of fertilizer, or is a heavy feeder, I guess. So I'm going to put a little bit just to give it a little extra boost. I got it. You filming? Yeah. Okay, good. That's enough for now. Let's go to the moment. Got a big bag. What I'm going to do is take a peek in here. This pot is pretty big, so I want to make sure I leave room. Okay, so I put some of the potting soil in there first. I didn't fill it up a lot because I still have to put some of the black cow manure, and then I want to leave enough room in the pot for the actual plant. And then you can always pack in the dirt around it. That's what I'm going to do. So I just wanted to show you guys that first, and now I'm going to put some of the black cow in and mix it. Apparently found this in there. That's a little random. Doesn't look like, compost to me. Okay, so I mix it up, mix it in good. And that looks, you can see that it looks richer already. I'm going to put a little bit more. Okay, and that's going to be at the bottom of the pot. We will pack in the other sides with more regular dirt. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to take it's a ceramic pot, so it's actually quite heavy. Like I said, I watered the plant before so that its roots would be a little bit ready. It won't be super dry, and it won't shock the plant as much. I'm going to tip the plant to the left. Well, actually, maybe I'll take these rocks out first. And that might help, perhaps. Taking the rocks out that I put on the top for I don't know what reason, but there they are. Maybe my kids put it there. They tend to do that. Alright. Usually don't want to pull it from the side. And this is a solid pot. Don't want to break the branches either. Yeah, there it goes, falling out. My plant. Oh, it's stuck in there good. You guys can see the roots kind of coming out on the bottom here. I don't know if you can see that, but that's it's in there good. So I'm just jostling it out, guys, instead of using the handheld shovel. Just gonna sort of finagle it gently. It's kind of a task when you leave it in too long, I guess, huh? This is why you should repot more frequently. You see that? Look at the bottom there. That's not good. That's when you know your plant has just been in the same pot for way too long. That's why all the water's just pouring right out, because this is mostly roots. It doesn't have anywhere else it can grow. So we're gonna put it in this new pot and hopefully it will do a lot better. I'm actually gonna just rip this bottom part out a bit, give it some more room to grow. It's not gonna kill it. At least it hasn't for me, and you know, before, in the past, when I've done it to my other plants. Okay, I'm also going to cut the sides down a bit, stimulate a little bit more root growth there. But you can see how dry that is as well, even though I soaked it, because it just runs right out of the pot. Okay, so I'm just gonna make sure there's a bit of an indent, you know, a nice spot for it in there. I'm gonna pick this guy up. It's light, it's not too bad. As you can see here, it might be a little too shallow, you know, too low down, so I'm gonna add a little bit more soil actually. Sorry, probably should have checked that first. Mixing it up. That should give it a little bit more height, and as you know, there's the black cow on the bottom, so it's going to give it some more food for its roots to take hold of. Okay, here we go. Put it right in. I also don't want the branches touching here, so that's why I wanted to add a little more soil in. And what I'm going to do is just fill in. And it's getting a little windy. I'm gonna use the big one. So, you know, potting it up, you do get yourself a little bit dirty, but usually that's the fun part. Gonna tuck it in. Tuck it in there, because there are gaps, and then once you water it, it will sort of sink to the bottom, so you want to make sure you're getting it in there good. And now if you look in the pot, even though I just put all that soil in, you can see that here, you can see that it's gone quite a ways down. And now I need to put some more. So we'll do some more. Now you can use any kind of potting soil you want, but you definitely need to use potting soil, not garden soil, because that doesn't hold in as much water. It's not made for pots. The drainage is not the same. So I'm lacking you there with the plant as I spin it around. You know, gotta be more aware of where the camera is, I guess. Okay, so you see it's still kind of leaning. It's just the way the plant is, but maybe with a little more soil in it and a bigger pot, I'm hoping it'll start to grow up a little straighter. And I'm going to cover up those roots that were showing earlier, as I showed you in the last, in its previous pot. Decided I'm actually going to add a little bit of the compost to the top and just mix it in the top, because I wanted to, when I water it, for it to just kind of mix in and soak down into the bottom a bit to help. So that's what I'm gonna do. And like I said, get your hands in there, or you can use a fork type of trowel thing if you like, but this should be fine. Okay, and for those of you who want a better look at the roots that are here, that are left, that came out of the pot, you can see that was on the bottom. This here. This is just the extra dirt. I probably should have put it back in the pot, but it's a lot of roots and everything in there, so you know, just toss that in a compost pile somewhere. But I believe, okay, so there's my transplanted tropical hibiscus plant. I'm hoping it's going to grow much taller and send me some more flowers now. It looks good. My children came in and did some rock art, you know, with their rocks that were in the pot before. You can see this is the pot it came out of, and that was the dirt that fell out with all the roots in it. And that's that. Fairly simple, easy, and it's necessary to transplant your plants as they outgrow the pots they're in. Okay, hi again. Okay, so I'm also going to transplant my elephant ear. Also known as dasheen bush if you're from Trinidad. But I planted this last year in a much bigger pot, and it was outdoors, and it really flourished. And then I brought it in and I put it in this pot. I brought it in for winter because I live in zone 6, so it would just normally die. Now it is summer, end of June anyway, and I want it to grow a little better. It's not doing as well, so I'm going to move it from this pot into this pot. As you can see, it's much bigger. I've already drilled the holes, so I'm just going to fill it with some potting soil, add in some compost to make it richer and give the elephant ear some food. Hopefully help it grow a little better, and more leaves would be great. These do like water, and it's great sometimes after I've watered them, you'd see the droplets just forming on the leaves. You can actually put your hands underneath it, and sometimes you can catch the water. It's pretty cool. But I'll get started on doing that now. First I'll put the soil in this pot, and then I'll try to get this one out. I did water the plant, so you can see it's a little bit wet, so that, you know, the roots can come out easier. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so I've put some potting soil in the pot. I use Miracle Grow moisture control potting mix. Everyone has, you know, the type they like. I do like this one. I've been using it for quite a while, and it works great for my plants. I also put black cow manure in my plants outside in my garden. I don't usually put it in my indoor plants because it does have a bit of a smell, but it's really good for the plants. So because these are tropical plants and they need a little extra food, I'm going to give it this instead of like a liquid fertilizer. So I'm going to mix this in with the potting soil just on the bottom, and then, you know, hopefully take the elephant ears out after that. Okay, so. Good, I think. Hi. Okay, so I'm just using the shovel here, and I'm sort of loosening it from the edge I can see some roots already, so I don't want to cut it up too much. Looks like I got a new little bulb there. So, okay. I'm actually going to just dig right in with my hands and pull it out instead of toppling the pot. You can probably see the bulbs. Oh. It's a little tight. There we go. Okay, so here's one bulb, and here's another, and then here's a little bitty baby one. Now when I planted this, it was only one bulb, so it's clearly multiplied, which is exciting. Here's another one growing out. So that's why I do want to transplant it and hope that it grows more. Now these don't have to go down very far, so there's way too much room here. So I need to add some more dirt. I'm probably going to use some of this here and then add some more of the fresh potting mix to it. All right. See the dirt, it's in there all mixed in, ready to go. Okay, here we go. Dig a nice hole in there, and I'm just going to pick up my bulbs. I'm actually going to, sorry, dig a little further over, tuck the roots in good. It in as you can. This one should stand up, I hope, at some point. It's planted. I did put a peony ring to hold this one up just until it gets its roots again and starts, you know, holding itself up. But that's it. Transplanting elephant ears. Hopefully, you know, by the end of summer, it's going to be a lot more leaves and a lot fuller. Hi again, I'm back transplanting again. If you watched my other video, you'd have seen that I took a hibiscus out of this pot. It's a ceramic pot and it was empty, so now I'm going to put one of my other houseplants in this pot. It's actually an annual, you know, in zone 6. It's not really a houseplant, but I've kept it as a houseplant for many years. This here is it's a type of geranium. Kind of like citronella, but it isn't the citronella plant. I was mistaken and bought it and thought it was, and then realized I was wrong. So it is clearly, it needs more room, as you can see. So I'm going to take this and transplant it into this pot. Very simple, easygoing. I already have some potting soil in this bigger pot with an indentation or a hole for this one to get in. So this one is kind of stuck in here. So, pretty tricky. Just sliding this around the edge. I think I'm breaking my pot too just a little because it's in there so good. Okay, here I go. I'm laying it down just so I can press on the sides to loosen the roots a bit. Spilling some of the dirt out, but that's okay. Here we go, and it came out. So I had a piece of bamboo attached to it. There we have it. I'm gonna put it right in here to hold it up. And the pot's empty. Nothing really in it now. You can see how deep it's in. And it really doesn't have that much, you know, extra roots in there. But hopefully it'll grow some more and send some more lower shoots, hopefully. This actually does grow by piece sometimes as well, so I've propagated this plant that way by breaking off some of these branches and just planting it. Okay, I'll need to redo that. And so I'm going to fill the pot in now with some soil. Plants do. I'm kind of picturing that I'm going to be doing zooming fast here, you know, spin up. I'm untying it. I had used just some floral greenery tape, but see how tall it gets anyway. I think I need a bigger piece of bamboo. Struggling. My word, this is pretty bad. Oh, this plant looks like it's falling over. I do have bigger pieces of bamboo. I'll just have to go grab one. Oh, there's the transplanted pot. I got a longer bamboo stick to help stake it. Quick story on this plant. I bought this over 6 years ago. And I thought it was citronella. It was a lot bushier, but since then I have had it on a table similar to this one with other indoor plants that were about this height. So it's been growing and trying to grow above it, and that's why there are no leaves. They all just fall off. I had a big German Shepherd and he would constantly knock this plant over, and it just keeps surviving. I would say this is quite a resilient plant, so if you have pets, you know, it survives. It's good. All right, thanks for watching. Now that I'm all done planting, I just want to remind you to water your plants after you've transplanted them to a new pot. Okay, it's very important to make sure and water them afterwards. Okay.